Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do now. Wow! Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you, pretending you got a sliver. Zoinks! You're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. So we got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, be ready for your act. Wow, don't hold back. And Scooby-Doo, if you come through, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, here are you. You're ready and you're willing. If we can count on you, Scooby-Doo, I know we'll catch that villain. Woo! I'm John Renton with a retro review of Scooby-Doo from 2002, coming up on the 20-year anniversary of the live-action adaptation of the very iconic and very weird and very strange animated series that went from the late 1960s to the early 1970s, went to Scooby-Doo movies with the Harlem Globetrotters, Batman and Robin, and various other people, and then also did, you know, the Scooby-Doo stories, the Mystery Inc., all that, the Scooby-Doo movies, a pup named Scooby-Doo, 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo with Vincent Price for some reason, fucking goddamn shot my voice doing that horrible Shaggy impression. I'm like, wow, man, how groovy was this movie? I remember actually doing that when I worked at the movie theater when I saw this, and I did that right as the door was opening before kids saw me, and the kids were like, wow, I thought that was Shaggy. It's not really a very good Shaggy impression. Those kids were just humoring me. Nevertheless, obviously, since I have this collection, I am a Scooby-Doo fan. And, of course, my favorite episode is A Tiki Scare is No Fair. Foolish mortals, you have come back to incur the wrath of Mano Tiki Tia. So, yeah, what's your favorite Scooby-Doo episode? Let me know in the comments, please. I can't tell you how difficult that intro was. God. Doing the Shaggy voice, man, like how groovy was that? That was really difficult. Really, really difficult. I would love to know, though, what you guys thought of this movie, because 20 years ago, I remember seeing this movie and thinking, like, there were some good moments. They got some things right, then they got some things totally fucking wrong. Of course, it's based on a series that wasn't really all that good. It's Mr. Inc. solving mysteries and proving that the real monsters are the humans, the human element of it. But nevertheless, it was directed by Raja Gonsal, who did Home Alone 3. That was his debut. That should explain a lot. Never Been Kissed, Big Mama's House, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, Yours, Mine, and Ours, The Smurfs, and The Smurfs 2, also Beverly Hills Chihuahua. The sad thing is, this might be the best thing he did. Actually, Never Been Kissed wasn't too bad. It's also written by James Gunn and Craig Titley. I swear, one day my humor will improve. No fucking won't. Sarah Michelle Gellar plays Daphne, the ditz that is always a damsel in distress. Freddie Prinze Jr. was Fred. I'm sure that Freddie Prinze had very, very hard, times on set remembering what the fuck his name was. Shaggy was played by Matthew Lillard. I think the best. Honestly, the best. Like, he captured the spirit of the character perfectly. Velma was played by Linda Cardellini. I would, and you would too. Still, don't fucking care. Fucking hot as hell. She was great in The Curse of La Llorona. Unfortunately, the movie itself wasn't all that good. Rowan Atkinson was in this. Yeah, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean himself. Isla Fisher was in this. I barely recognize her. I totally forgot she was in this. And also Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray for some fucking reason. I think Sugar Ray was the only band that returned their calls. So if you haven't seen this movie, well, it's a retro review. You're gonna get fucking spoilers here. Sorry, the movie's been out for 20 fucking years. Also, if you've seen any Scooby-Doo episode, pretty obvious what they're gonna go with here. Yeah, the live-action adaptation sometimes works. I will say this was better than the Scoob animated movie that they did. It came out about 2 years ago. Mystery Inc., they solved their latest mystery. Fred gets an ego, takes all the credit for it. Pamela Anderson was there for some weird reason. And everybody separates, except Lillard and, except Shag and Scoob. And 2 years later, they're in the Mystery Machine. There's smoke coming out of the Mystery Machine. Ha 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 ha. Not the only pot joke they make here, but they're cooking. And then they get offered a chance to go to Spooky Island. And they refuse until they find out it's all you can eat, because, they're always hungry. They just have voracious appetites. There's no influence on that at all. Why would you think that? It's not like the creators were on copious amounts of drugs. I mean, geez, let's take a look at something. Let's see some of these episodes. What a Night for a Fright, A Clue for Scooby-Doo, Hassle in the Castle, Mind Your Business with the Minor 49er, Decoy for a Dog Napper, Never Ape and Ape Man, Foul Play in Funland with the Creepy Clown. Yeah, let's see. A Fright Night is No Delight, and Bedlam and the Big Top. They sure love to, like, mess with clowns. They sure love to punch clowns. That was gross. Tiki Scare is No Fair. Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Werewolf? Don't Fool a Phantom. A whole bunch. That's Snow Ghost. Remember the one where they were snowboard, or they were skiing and trying to capture a ghost? Yeah, and also, come on, that disc. If that disc doesn't indicate that everybody was on copious amounts of drugs when they put this thing together. I really wish they'd release this on Blu-ray so I could actually get it so it wouldn't be all collected together. Nevertheless, let's get back to this plot. So they go to Spooky Island, everybody gets reunited, and then even though there's tension, they have to come together and they have to solve the mystery. Because of course they fucking do. They're fucking Mystery Inc. I mean, why wouldn't they? So, full disclosure, this movie's not very good. And I know that's probably going to irritate some people. I'm not saying that it isn't entertaining. It's just not very good because the CGI is fucking dog shit. I mean, I don't expect great special effects in a Scooby-Doo movie. But when your best special effects were a ghost in the beginning that was actually a person, Scooby's alright, I guess, but the monsters and the other shit they have, Scrappy-Doo, it's terrible. It was terrible in 2002. It's terrible now. And basically, the power of friendship, keeps Shag and Scoob together. And Mr. Bean shows up. I'm just going to call him Mr. Bean because his character name was Mondavarius. He's Mr. Bean. That's what he is. And people are acting weird on the island, basically. Why are they acting weird? We find out later. So, there's a spooky castle a voodoo guy tells Daphne not to go to. She thinks it's reverse psychology because Daphne's kind of a ditz and goes there. And we get the Scooby snack references. And also, Shaggy meets Isla Fisher's character, Mary Jane. Says, Mary Jane, that's my favorite name. Like, they couldn't have been more on. I mean, they couldn't have been more obvious with this stuff, and it went right over kids' heads. Unless the kids knew that their parents were tokers. So anyway, they go through this funhouse type area, and it turns out there's this old luchador under a mask that is the henchman of this one, voodoo guy that basically is trying to take the spirits of the people and use them in a ritual, essentially. They're like floating around a little fishbowl. It's like a little sperm bowl, basically. And it was kind of fucking hilarious. In fact, it was rather ridiculous how they made it look like a bowl full of sperm. Have fun on seeing that. You're welcome. And everybody's just acting really, really weird. Eventually, everybody's spirits get displaced. There's this weird little triangle, Pandora's box-like thing. Sure, just do your fucking research out in the middle of nowhere. That's fine. Good Lord, Linda Cardellini is hot is what I wrote down. The Lucha guy, the guy under the Lucha mask, was actually a famous kickboxer in K1. San Marcos, or I believe was his name, or something like that. And we then get flashbacks of Scrappy-Doo. Full disclosure, I fucking hated the Scrappy-Doo character even when I was a kid. Hated him. Absolutely fucking hated him. Couldn't stand him. I'll splat him. I wish somebody would have splatted that goddamn little dog. I love animals. That's an animated dog, so it's okay. I fucking despise Scrappy-Doo. Fuck Scrappy-Doo and fuck whoever came up with him. Goddamn stupid-ass character. But nevertheless, what I find funny is there was an in reference to the Beast of Yucca Flats when he wanted to be the leader, and then he said, either make me the leader or that's it, I'm out of here. And then they kick him out, and there's Yucca Flats 6 miles. Beast of Yucca Flats, by the way, was an incoherent mess from director Coleman Francis. If you are an MST3K fan of any size, especially, from way back when, which you would have to be, considering how long it's been since MST3K was good. I do not count the Netflix versions, even though I was kind of them. In retrospect, the old ones were better. Beast of Yucca Flats had Tor Johnson become a radioactive bitch. Anyway, a radioactive monster, and that was pretty much it. So moving on from that, Yucca Flats, maybe there's an implication that Scrappy had gotten a little bit radioactive. Bitch, he's radioactive. But Velma, basically, Velma is like kind of flirts with this one guy at the bar, that the tiki bar and everything, because drinking in a kids movie is always a good thing. And then monsters show up, but they think, oh, these are people under monster masks. No, they aren't. Sugar Ray just shows up for no reason. I think there's a hypnotic point. Everybody is possessed except Shaggy and Scooby. Mary Jane is obviously a monster at one point. She has a tail hanging out. Nobody fucking realized this except Scooby. Saw a tree hit her in the face, and her face went all like this. She's like reaction. Went like that. Ow. Went like that, and then she put it back together. Isla Fisher getting it in the face. That'll anger people, but moving on from that. I'm surprised they allowed that in a kids' movie. Moving hastily on from that image that I'm sure will piss people off. Yeah, Scoob is basically made to be a sacrifice. And it turns out that, well, this whole thing put on by Mr. Bean, he's not actually Mr. Bean, he's a robot, and Scrappy Doo's in there, and he wanted to take the spirit and harness the energy of all these people and become big and kill people. And basically take revenge on Mystery Inc., even though he was the dick. And then that was about it. Also, there was a let's get Jinky with it line. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. Okay, that was really dumb. A lot of this humor is really dumb. There was one funny line, though, or one true line. Fred saying about Velma, oh, like, dorky chicks like you turn me on. Right here, folks. And yeah, Scrappy becomes all big, and then the spirits get released from the little sperm spirit bowl. And he goes back to normal. And it turns out that Mr. Bean, the original Mr. Bean, was locked in a tube for a while in, like, the floor. And then the island's fine, and Scrappy-Doo got captured, and there you go. And then we get a post-credits sequence, or a mid-credits sequence of Shag and Scoob drinking and eating peppers. Because why the fuck wouldn't we get that? I'm just going to say one thing, even though this movie isn't bad, watch this instead. This has some charm, and also the episodes are only like, well, 20, 22 fucking minutes. This is only an hour and 26 minutes, and it's not that bad. The soundtrack is kind of shit. That might have had something to do with the fact that I had to hear it a lot when I was working at the theater, and also Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Moving on from that, the movie is certainly entertaining in parts. It's not great. When the jokes don't land, boy, they land with a fucking resounding thud. When they don't land like, ha 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 ha, they land not knee slapping. They land, just hit with a thud right there. Can't really stomp on the ground too goddamn loud. But anyway, it's not a bad movie. It doesn't necessarily hold up CGI-wise, but Matthew Lillard's pretty damn good. Linda Cardellini is fucking gorgeous, and Daphne Sarah Michelle Gellar played a good ditz. Also, I believe her and Freddie Prinze Jr. either were dating by this point or would get married soon after. Good for them. They're happy together, I assume. I don't know what happened to Scooby. I assume he settled down with somebody with a lot of Scooby snacks. So what do you think of this movie? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin, and I'll see you soon, man.